Hey guys, it's Miss Gaddis. I'm home taking care of my baby until after fall break, so I will be back. So until then, I'm going to film the lessons that we're going to do so you can still have me teaching you the art lessons. So we're going to start off the year by doing our project for our fundraiser called Original Works. And most of you were here last year, but those of you who are new know that this is a fundraiser where you can get things like mugs and t-shirts and tote bags, mouse pads, all kinds of stuff with your artwork on it. It's really cool, and parents like to order stuff like this with your artwork on it for Christmas, and you can have stuff like it for you. I know they have some sketchbooks where you can have your artwork on a sketchbook. It's really cool. So for our project, we are going to make a really cool painting of some aspen trees. This is what it's going to look like. You can tell it's like fall. We use reds, oranges, and yellows to make it fall. And you can see the mountains in the background. It's a really cool painting. And they look really cool on all the products you can order. So we're going to do this aspen tree painting for your fundraiser. And I want you to do the best you can on it because you want to be proud of it when you send it home with your parents with your order form, okay? I know everybody's such a great artist and you can do really good. So take your time. Don't hurry and don't rush. Make it look the best you can. I'm looking forward to seeing them, and I'm looking forward to seeing you when I get back soon. Alright guys, so this is going to be our project for our Original Works fundraiser, like I've already mentioned. And this is a really fun project. We're going to make the aspen trees. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our white paper, and we're going to use some masking tape. And so what you're going to do is you're going to tear off some strips of tape. You want to make sure your paper is going this way, not up and down, but sideways. And you're going to put about 4 or 5 pieces of tape on your paper where you want your trees to be. So these are going to be like your tree trunks. They can they don't have to go straight up and down. They can be tilted however you want them. However many you want. I think I'm just going to do 4 trees. Okay, so you want to make sure that you don't press down too hard so they won't be too hard to pull up. And you also want to make sure none of the edges are sticking up. So kind of run your hand over it to make sure it's nice and good. And once you do that, you're going to use a pencil and we're going to draw right over the tape where the ground's going to be. So I want the grass like right here. See how I just drew right over the tape, okay? And a lot of the sky is going to be covered up with the leaves, so we're not going to worry about that. But I like to put some like mountains back here, just to give it some extra things. So I'm drawing some mountains. Alright, so I drew right over the tape. And this is pretty easy so far. So you put the tape down, you draw your grass and your mountain. So the next step is we're going to use our liquid watercolor, which you have in little glass jars. We're going to use that to paint. So you're going to paint right on top of the tape and the paper. Just paint right over the tape. Don't even act like the tape's there. So I'm going to paint green, and I'm going to make my mountains purple so they can stand out. And then blue for my sky. And then we're going to let that dry. That's the end of this step. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and paint mine, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like painted. Alright guys, so now I have my picture painted. You can see I painted right over the tape. You can see my pretty purple mountains and my green grass and my blue sky. So the next thing we're going to do with this step is we're going to peel the tape off. And it's okay if it rips a little bit. I would go slow. See how I'm starting? I'm kind of going real slow. It's okay if it comes off the sides a little bit. Just take your time. The slower you go, the better it's going to do. See, even mine rips a little bit coming off. So we're going to get all the tape off. And then we're going to make our tree trunk. So that's going to be the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and take mine off, and then we'll do step 2. Alright guys, so now we're going to make our tree trunks look like tree trunks. So what I do is I take a black Sharpie, and we're going to draw some little knots in the tree. So what I do with that is I draw a dot, and then like a little squiggly line around it. So you can put the little knots wherever you want them on your tree trunks. I wouldn't go all the way to the top because that's where our leaves are going to be. So I've got some knots on here, and I'm just going to add some lines here and there coming from the side. So it kind of looks like what an aspen tree looks like. So you're going to keep doing that on all of these, wherever you want them. Just adding your lines. So they're starting to look like little aspen tree trunks. Take your time, make sure you're doing a good job, because remember, these are things that you can have ordered, like on t-shirts and mugs and things like that. Last year we did this project and a lot of people ordered from it because they turned out really good. These are all going to turn out good. This is not a hard project, it's one that turns out looking really pretty. So I'm adding my knots and my little lines. My tree. So it should look something like that. The next step is we're going to add a shadow on the tree to show where the light's coming from. So I'm going to make sure my brush is nice and clean. We're going to use the black watercolor. And what you want to do is you want to get a little water and just barely tap it in the black. You don't want too much black. So I'm kind of tapping it in the black and then wiping it a little bit on the sides. So we're going to think about which direction we want the sun to come from. So I'm imagining the sun's coming from the left. So if the sun is coming from the left, then the shadow will be on the right side because the tree is lit up on the left since the sun is coming on the left. So I'm going to take my black watercolor. I'm just going to kind of draw a shadow on the right side of my tree, because that's the part that the sun's not hitting. Alright, so you need to do the same thing on all the trees on the same side, or else it won't look realistic. So I'm adding a shadow on this side. We've got shadow here. Shadow down here. It's kind of just like a line that we're drawing. It makes it look like there's a shadow on the tree. Alright, so we've got our shadows. You can make them a little bit darker if you want to. And that is step 2. And the next step, we are going to make our leaves. Alright guys, so now we're going to add our leaves. And I'm going to be using a big brush. Yours are more round. I don't have any of these here at home, so I'm going to use this type of brush. And we're going to be using red, orange, and yellow paint because these are going to be like fall type trees. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to start with the red. You're just going to dip your brush in the red. And we're going to paint like we're dabbing. Not like the dance move, but like this. See, I'm just kind of dotting it on the paper. So we're going to add leaves. It kind of gives them a nice texture, so you can kind of see how they feel. You could take it all the way up to the top if you want to. I'm just going to keep adding. However you want them to be. Just dab it. It kind of gives them like a really cool like leaf texture. Instead of painting them like this, making it texture. So you can see some of the sky's still showing back there. It's going to look really cool when we get all the colors on there. Now you can also add some leaves down here on the ground, kind of like they've fallen. Just here and there, wherever you want them. See how cool the texture brush looks? Alright. You don't even have to rinse your brush out for this next part. You can go ahead and do the the orange. The orange will go next. We're going to go like darkest to lightest color. You're going to kind of do the same thing. Don't cover up the red all the way. Just kind of add some orange here and there. And then when we get finished with the orange, you're going to add some yellow. So I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to show you what the whole thing looks like. Alright guys, here's our finished aspen trees. You can see how like cool the texture looks like. It looks like there's actual leaves on there. So it's pretty. It shows like a fall landscape, and people really like to order these for our fundraiser. And they all turn out looking really cool. So I hope you enjoy doing this project and you take your time, do the best you can on it. Don't make it real sloppy. Do your best work that you can do, and have a great time and enjoy painting it. I know they're going to look awesome, and I can't wait to see them when I come back.